Hi, I'm David Bodemer, the Editorial Director with National Real Estate Investor. We're here at the annual New Jersey Conference. I'm here with Ron Beit from RBH Group. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you were just on our keynote panel, so can you talk a little bit about the findings from that, and also talk to us a little bit about what you're up to? I understand you have a pretty big project that's underway right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the panel was a very interesting panel. You had really sort of a good select group of people there from different segments of the market, so it was very interesting to hear it from sort of the conventional side of it all to the affordable side of it all, and sort of us sort of in the middle there, you know, with respect to the Teachers Village project. Right. And it really is sort of a hybrid between all of that, is because it does have the sort of significant public investment, but also has significant sort of private investment in the form of sort of entrepreneurs and commercial and investment banks and even insurance companies. And so it really is a hybrid, and it's interesting, sort of a nice sort of collaborative, sort of collective, a group sort of from different segments of this market that that I think really painted an interesting picture of what's going on here in New Jersey, and a complete picture of what's going on here in New Jersey.
And for people that maybe watching that don't know all the details of Teachers Village, this really is a kind of a unique project that's a public-private partnership, and the way that it's based around, I mean, the fact that it's even called Teachers Village speaks to an education component. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, Teachers Village, the project itself is the first phase of a much larger master plan of the southwest quadrant of downtown Newark, which lies between University Heights and Prudential Arena. Okay. And the first phase is Teachers Village. It's an 8-building development, low-rise, between 4 and 6 stories. 6 of the buildings are residential rental apartments over retail, pre-marketed to all teachers of Newark, so the district schools, the charter schools, and the independent schools within Newark. Okay. And then you have 2 school buildings over retail, which will house 3 charter schools and 1 daycare over retail. And all of it, again, is over retail, which is the common thread through the project, because at its core, it's an economic development project, a project that seeks to stimulate its direct neighborhood and the overall downtown and greater Newark market. But it all does happen with sort of changing the experience on the street on those blocks that are sort of mostly fallow right now. Right. They're about 92% surface parking lot today. And it seeks to stimulate and sort of and do all of this by tapping into the energy in Newark, which is sort of the discussion we're having in education reform. So whatever side of the coin you lie politically, there is certainly a dialogue in Newark that's been occurring there for over a decade, discussing education. The charter schools were sort of, you know, just had a need for facilities, and so we catered to that on sort of a commercial transaction perspective. But the real sort of twist to Teachers Village is that sort of it was a tool to retain and recruit the best teachers to Newark, and was really, from an economic development perspective and a real estate perspective, tapping into the energy of those teachers and stimulating that project and that neighborhood and Newark with that energy.
And what's the timeline at this point for development and pieces opening and all that sort of stuff?
So Teachers Village is under construction now. The first 2 buildings, the school buildings, are under construction now. The first building, steel is rising. The second building, the piles are in the ground, and steel will be rising in July. Both of those buildings are slated to be delivered about a year from now, about May 2013. So in a year we'll have 2 of those buildings up. 3 of the residential buildings are slated to break ground next month, and then the other 3 buildings by the end of the year. And so by the end of first or second quarter 2014, this neighborhood is rising, and some of these buildings already will be here early 2013. So from between 2013 and 2014, you'll see these series of 8 buildings rising there, and start to be populated. So this time next year, people are going to start moving in.
Great. All right. Well, Ron, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us.
Thank you.
And continue to watch our coverage of the conference.